Hello everyone. Well, I'm going to try to film the rest of that journal. My paste or scrap or junk or whatever you want to call it. It's a book that, a journal I started and finished way back in the summer. Like I've said before, I've tried to video it, had so much trouble with it, and have several videos that I videoed, but I never was pleased with it. But like this saying, anything is possible if you believe. Okay, let's do it. Let's dream it. Let's wish it. And the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Oh my. I just love little signs with sayings. Some of my favorite sayings are on signs, and I like to look at them and think about them, and oh my goodness. And beside all of this, I have the world globe. I like the world globe because I have a son that flies and goes to different areas of the world, and right now he just called me today. He's on a ship. He flew to South Africa about a week or so ago and got on a ship, and now he's in the South Atlantic. He works and is a buyer and a material buyer for a drill ship, and they're bringing a brand new one, and someone has to be on it. Well, he has an office and he does computer work and all kinds of stuff on it, but they're bringing that ship up through the South Atlantic right now, and it was fascinating to me that he could just call and talk to me like he was next door. These satellite phones just fascinate me. Anyway, I like the world globes. I collect them. Don't have too many of them, but I do enjoy. This is an older one. Oh, I asked him, I said, y'all haven't crossed the equator yet, which they have not. He's been in Singapore. He's been in South Korea. He's been in Hong Kong. Oh my goodness. I just don't know how many countries he's been in. My husband used to fly and go. He was in the Army, and he used to go all over the world, so that's something that I've never done. I've never been anywhere except Mexico, out of the United States, and never been to very many states, but I've been up in Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, Virginia, Washington, D.C., Oklahoma, let's see, Alabama. Oh, my goodness, let me think. Oh, my goodness, I was just trying to think how many states I've been to, but right now I'm not thinking. But anyway, all right, that's what my book is about, is memory. Well, it's not the kind of memory that is the same as remembering things. It was just trying to teach me the memory of how to do some kind of crafts. Look at my little dogs there, y'all. Aren't they cute? Well, I better hurry up. I've already used nearly 4 minutes up, but my friend gave me these little dogs. I have a big dog collection, but these are just some little bitty ones. And that little Yorkie and that little white one back there, I had a little part poodle that we call Kisser that was with my little Yorkie, and he lived to be 16 years old. He was the sweetest dog, I believe, anybody. We rescued him. I love to rescue dogs, and I've rescued some Dalmatians one time that somebody had dropped off at my home, and I ended up and got the Dalmatian Association to pick them up. Took about a year to get it done, but I sure enjoyed those two dogs. They were, I used to call them husband and wife because it was a male and a female. I couldn't tell you the dogs I've had. Anyway, because I like little dogs, my daughter went to Alaska and she brought me back the dog sled. And I thought that was awful cute. And I always tell them, I can take anything little, but big things I can't take much anymore. I have way too much collections in my house. But I thought it'd be fun to do it on this little table, and so I just wanted to start this. And I remember, y'all remember the book, Memory. And let's see, when I want to say how I did it, I used scrapbook paper, tissue paper, napkins, just all kinds of different things that I Mod Podged in this book. I was kind of, like I told you once before, that I would have just put it in a better book, but I was just kind of experimenting with the different kinds of materials, and this book just got fatter and fatter because it was just a cheap book, but I glued a bunch of the pages together, and oh, I have some other books I could have used, but why did I pick this one? But I thought it was just going to be a junk book, and sure enough, I guess you could call it junky because it's got everything in it. Anyway, I used one of these elastic bands, planned to make something else different to go around it, but that works, keeps it together. Let's see. I'm going to go where I stopped last time was right here, and the next page is just a, let's see if I can get that in focus, is a page I had torn out of a magazine and Mod Podged it down. I like old things, as you've realized. I'm a vintage person. Do like to have a lot of memory. The memory of the old, the beater. I collect those too. Can you believe that? I have a bunch of them. I used to hang a bunch of stuff on my kitchen wall, but since I've moved, I don't do that anymore. I like a lot of old dishes and plates and such. But anyway, I like this page. I can't remember what magazine I tore it out of, but also tore this little thing out. I put it on the page, thought it went real good with it. Sit back, unwind, take a trip back in time where life was slower, simpler, and just made more sense. Oh, yes. There was times when I tell you what, it felt like I was going slower than slow, and now my life is faster than fast. Even though I'm older, it still seems like everything's speeded up because I don't know how to explain that other than the fact is that we try to put too much in the day, I think, and I sure want to get more done than what I'm doing. And over on this side, I have the old wood, it kind of got a little bright in that. I have the old wood cook stove, and I cook on a beautiful glass top stove, but my mother cooked on a wood stove. Oh my goodness, those women, the reason I put the stars around it, they were stars. Just think, they had to go out and get the wood. My mother had to draw water even in the house that I was born in, but I don't remember it because they already moved out of it by the time I was old enough to have any memory. But anyway, she had a lot of things that she had that were like an old wash pot she washed in. You know, women a long time ago, they had a lot of things they did that were really hard work. I used to ask Mother all the time about how hard, what was the good old days, and she'd say, what good old days? They were hard old days. But anyway, my mother had a lot of talent. She was probably one of the first crafters that I ever met. She could do about anything. She could crochet, she could embroidery. I don't know if she could knit. I don't think, but she was a seamstress. She could take a dress and make just look at a dress and cut it out and make a pattern, and she just seemed to do so well with her sewing. But when I came along, I was the change of life baby, and by then she was already wore out and tired and didn't want to do much, but she did teach me a lot. Anyway, I like this little picture of these women. It reminds me of probably that era I was born in, the 40s, so this I was born in the the beginning of the 40s. I'll tell y'all right now. I was born before the World War II started, so you can guess my age if you want to. And who said life was going to be easy? Well, who said that? I don't know. We like to think that sometimes, and sometimes we do have an easy life. And okay, this page here is scrapbook paper. And an old, remember those old plastic doilies? It's a memory. I had a couple of them that were still in pretty good shape, so I decided just to use it in this book. And I used some of that beautiful pearl paint that Martha Stewart has, and I even pearled up this scrapbook paper. It had gold on it, but went right with what I was trying to do. And any time that's not spending love is wasted. I blinged up that tag. You know me and tags. I like to make tags. Just did a little stamping on it and staining it. Enjoyed it. And then that little tag there says love with a couple of pearls beside it. Over on this side, I took an old tag that I had, a picture. I think I cut that picture out of a magazine. I'm not sure. And put that on there with those black corners. And used a little paper doily here. Golded it up, sprayed it. Added some bling to it. And up at the top, did a little lace bow. Anyway, this page has got lace all over it, so it's a pretty page. So let me hurry up. I'm going to mess up. Okay, the next page is some more things that I cut out of a magazine probably 25 years ago. And I did this stamping on the bottom with a tree. Had 4 trees, and I kept stamping it to make it look like it had a little wooded area and snow. Did that with some gesso and white paint. And I just Mod Podged this on. This is scrapbook cardboard paper, stock paper. And I didn't really change the color on this one. I just left it as is. I kind of liked it. It went with that. Did a little staining around the to make it have a little depth. Over here is another log cabin, red birds, and down here I did a stamp called Sing Song Bird, and then I also took a stamp and did that one. It was 2 trees and kept adding them to the page and did a little gesso on that. Y'all, I love log cabins. Always had a plan to have a log cabin, but never got one. We looked at them one time and really thought about buying one. Actually, we were going to buy one and have it built, but in our area, log cabins have to be maintained so much. I guess they do anywhere, but at that time, my husband was sick, and so it was just going to be too much, and I told him no, so we ended up and bought us a nice brick home. But since then, I've moved and left that place, too, so I now live over in another area, but I have a nice new home, so I'm so thankful for that. God is good. Over here is just another little stenciling, and I made a little bow. I said a bow again. I said bow a while ago. Now it's a flower. Anyway, I just stamped some words on this one. Play, remember, create, good times, memories, imagine. And that's what I did in this book. I just had fun imagining. Over here, I made a tag. It's kind of like just different things on it. Got a little tool on it and some little quilt and an old button and a fussy cut butterfly. I like to make tags, y'all. I really do. This one is got a little old lace on it. Oh, my. Just did a lot of fun. Did a little seam binding on it. On this page, I call this my butterfly post. It's got some lace, and it's a napkin. Butterflies I've collected, saved, did a little fussy cut with some of them, and thought this page, the napkin had butterflies on it, and that's what made me go with it. Anyway, I liked it. This one I didn't crumple up. I just Mod Podged it down, and it turned out cute, I think. Did pretty. This one here was a little bit of a This was tissue paper. Crumpled it up and added some gold paint, added some little flower doilies, or just some pieces of doily and some pearls. I thought that turned out pretty too. Here's another one of those tags, y'all. And I also did this one in the same thing, but I added the tulle on top of this page, which made it really turn out pretty. It feels good too. The little tag, I bought this little tag, but I added more things to it because it was kind of plain. Like I told you, some of the first tags were kind of plain. So anyway, that's a little seam binding, but you can see that tulle pretty good there. See it in there? And it went over that tissue paper real pretty. I think the tissue paper does good when you're doing even your canvases. Here's another napkin, and it's a pretty napkin. I'm not sure if this is being too dark or not. I'm losing the daylight, so I'm not sure. But anyway, this napkin, I did some flowers and the pearls, and that's another flower I kind of put together. And another tag that I printed that I had, a little bling down here. I've seen some of these, but this was a vintage one that I had. It's got the sequins and the pearls, and it's also together. It's really pretty. I've got a whole bunch of those. I'm real thankful I have them. And I did a little stressing up on this page on the sides. This one here, this page here was just a brown, like a paper sack, some wrapping paper or something, that, but it was brown. And I did a little gesso over it, wrinkled it up real good so it had a lot of texture to it. Another tag that I bought, and I added some extras to it. It was kind of plain Jane too, but I thought it was so cute, the little girl. Oh my goodness, those pretty little dresses. I just love those old dresses on those babies. They are just darling. Very rarely do you see a dark one, so most of them are white. But anyway, the little word is adore. She is adorable. Oh my goodness. I wonder about these people. And this was a paper doily that I stained up and just enjoyed it. Put some gold on it. This one here is, like I told you, I like the world globe, so I just printed this off the internet. It was I had the scrapbook paper and I just printed the world globes off of it and Mod Podge them on that scrapbook paper. Then I took this not old song, but I guess it is pretty old. It's an old hymn that I took, God Will Take Care of You. And I thought to myself, it went with the God is going to take care of us, and let's just keep believing. I love that song, y'all. It's a very beautiful song. If you've never heard it, you need to look it up and listen to it. And it goes, do not be dismayed, whatever be the tide, God will take care of you. In this day and hour, there's so much going on, and God will take care of you no matter what. I do get a lot of compliments on this page. What's the secret? What's the number one secret to being a creative woman? You do it. Now, you notice I just left this page as is. I just did a little gelato and stamping and staining and stenciling. And anyway, and a long time ago, I cut this bird. I printed it. Was going to use it for a pattern, but it just went perfect with this colors. So, and two, there's no scrapbook paper on this page. This one is kind of like an old sewing page. Got an old sewing pattern look. Some old lace, flowers. This one here is a reason I put this on there is because when I saw this little bird, I set him up on my card at Walmart, and I thought, oh, I'll buy that. And then I looked at him and I went, I can go and make that. And so when I looked at the picture and printed it off, I went, guaranteed, made in China. I guarantee you one thing, we have a lot of our art comes from China now. I did put the little flag, United States, because, he was shipped over here, and we purchased it. It was a Christmas, I think at Christmas one year that I did that. Anyway, I made a tag out of it and hung it on my Christmas tree. The kids got a laugh out of that one. Anyway, I used old lace on that one, little trim. This page here was just another one of those tissue paper that I Mod Podge down. The book is kind of shabby, but that's the way I like it. I like shabby stuff. This page here, I really made a mess with. Oh my goodness. I was stamping and the stamp went down wrong, so I just, instead of tearing the page out, I just decided to go on with it. Had cut that out a long time ago out of a magazine and just set him on a heart and put those stars around him, and I went play, giggle, and that's exactly what I felt like when I did this stamp. Oh my goodness, it was such a mess. I had to color it in, draw it in. I just stamped it. It just went everywhere. Anyway, it turned out pretty cute after all. And I added the little flowers I had cut out with my Cricut and added some other things on top and just made a little grass at the bottom. And then over here, I've got just have fun. And that's what I did. When I stamped this stamp, I just decided I'd just have fun. And that little boy is darling. That's another tag. And I added the word play to him. Actually, that I took him off of a tag. I take that back. The tag is not there. I just took the paper off because I just laughed. Laugh and create. Play and giggle. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? We're just supposed to have a good time. I guess of all the pages, this is my favorite. Tore that picture or cut that picture out of a magazine and added the words, can you give me a helping hand? No, it doesn't say, can you give me a, it just says, not a helping. I added a word in there. Can you give me a hand? And that was something I Mod Podged on. And the paper, I'm not sure what I used on this one. Might have just painted over the page and then did a little stenciling with it. Stamping, stenciling. Over here was this piece of paper. I had downloaded it off of the internet and added the flowers to it. It was sort of like old wallpaper, but I think these two pages turned out real pretty. I like them. Also, nearly dropped my little cell phone here. Just doing this with my iPhone. All right. This is another page of just tags, and I'm trying to remember. I think that one just has paper too. I didn't add anything. I just painted. I was doing a little different on this one. I was just painting over the pages. Add a little metal bling to this one. And I have that stamp, and I like it. And I did stamp it on that tag and added that little flower. And then added a little saying down there about so, not a saying, a definition. And then this was a barn where we lived before that we had painted in the Texas flag, and that was during probably a fall or winter time of the season. It always had beautiful trees at this place, and I don't know, I took a picture there because the leaves were falling, and I don't know, it's just pretty, and so I just thought that was a bright picture. I have some good pictures of it with the snow, so needed to put that on there. And then down here was the home that we had. It's a beautiful home. It was out in the country, and I had it, we had that metal roof put on it. It was a brick home, and we had it, we remodeled this house and built onto the back, made a great big sun porch. I loved that place, but time came that I had to give it up. You can tell the big old trees that are there. Anyway, and as I moved, I always said, lead me, shepherd. That's another song that I had, hymn that I had taken out. put a little bird, made a little bird nest, put a little bird in it because, oh my goodness, when we move, we have to make a new nest. This is the last page. I made this flower out of just cutting up some of that trim ribbon. I thought it was pretty. Kind of reminds me of, oh, I don't know. It's not silk, but it's more like a fabric, suede-like material. I like using it. And then I just cut these little tags, or these little things out of off of a page in a magazine too. Kindness, truth, endurance, and giving. That's what it's all about. And then I added a little crocheted stuff with that and made that little butterfly to go on it. And this page here, I made it out of just a magazine. I took a magazine, Mod Podged it. It was a big old flower. And when I got through Mod Podge, you couldn't even see the flower anymore. So I said, well, I better change that. I added that butterfly, fussy cutted it out and added it to there. And then I made the little flower out of some of the page that was in the magazine. And then this one here is made out of, this little flower is made out of newspaper. Added the pearls around it. Oh my goodness. I don't know whether I can upload this and take forever on YouTube. But anyway, I'm going to try. Maybe somebody might watch it. It's going to take a little time. I really don't like to watch too long videos. And maybe if I wouldn't talk so much, I could have made it shorter. But anyway, I wanted to finish this. And I wanted to tell y'all thank you for watching. And thank you for all your good, the nice comments y'all have given me. I just want to say that it's been a delight learning, and I enjoy the YouTubes, and I enjoy watching y'all craft, doing your scrapbooks. And I have a bunch that I'm trying to work on, and right now I'm started something else. I've started those sniplet rolls, and can I stay focused? Maybe not. I want to stay busy, but I seem to be still jumping from one thing to the other. But anyway, I'm still working on my fabric book, but the sniplet rolls are now just jumping on me. I know I'm kind of a late bloomer, so I guess you'd say trying to catch up. All right. Y'all have a wonderful evening, daytime, whatever time you watch this. I love doing the videos, and y'all stay safe in Jesus. And the people that are out of the country, I appreciate y'all's comments too, that give me such sweet comments. All right, let's make good memory, especially in a journal. I know that it's a lot of fun putting all this together. And it's your journal. It may not look like everybody else's, but it's yours. And just enjoy. That's what it's all about. Just enjoy crafting. Just enjoy putting your stuff together. Have a good time, y'all. All right. Bye-bye.